Starting things off for Montreal, the Montreals, that's 7804 Viking size. And that is 74 Rock This for Casco Bay. Now, these two teams have never played each other before.
And Casco Bay is actually currently not rated under the MRDA. And Montreal is ranked at number 18.
Rock This getting recycled back to turn one. That's going to give Viking size the opportunity to sneak through and pick up lead jammer to kick things off for Montreal.
That is quite an impressive beard. He's got some serious braids going on. Is that his beard or his hair?
Rock This still trying to work his way through. He is clear, as now Viking size is stuck right in the middle of the pack on the far side of the track from us. Lots of action going on. Viking size pushed out of bounds. He's going to call it off. 3 points picked up for the Montreals. Casco Bay held score 2-2.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, this is a first for me. You know, I'm normally just out in the crowd, so being here and this little mic, being all cozy with you as we huddle in is lots of fun. Men's roller derby is a lot faster and a lot harder hits, it seems, than the women's roller derby, which I'm normally announcing for.
26 Ferrous Oxide jamming for Casco Bay. And that is number 101 Jumper Cut for the Montreals. Jumper Cut has lead jammers. He races back around turn one to hit the pack.
Ferrous Oxide is currently being held back. It's not made his initial pass yet.
Montreal owns the front of the pack right now. Ferrous Oxide stuck behind a raised floor wall that is not budging at all. Jumper Cut is through. He's going to get 5 points passing Ferrous Oxide, picking up that jammer lap point. Both jammers are out, and Jumper Cut coming through. He finds a wide open outside, picks up 4 easy points, bringing him up to 9 for the jam, and calls it off. This gives us an opportunity to read through the rosters for Montreal Men's Roller Derby Montreals. We have number 0, El Tanat, 101 Jumper Cut, 16 Mardi Gras, 247 Saturday, 300 White Shark, 50 Buddy Ollie, 6502 Grimlock, 71 The Rev, and 7804 Viking Size.
That's quite a small roster there. They had a couple people fall out, so they're going to be
9 skaters.
It's going to be an intense bout for them. And I'll be bringing you the Casco Bay in just a moment.
El Tanat has lead for Montreal. Some skater named X. Fabulous name. Jamming for Casco Bay. Montreal picks up 5 in that pack. And El Tanat takes out some skater named X at the far side of the track. But they're slowing it down as the pack picks it up. So this is an interesting little spread here.
You don't typically see most of the contact being just between the two jammers, but this is it's very interesting. You almost have like 2 different jams going on here, one with the blockers and one with the jammers.
El Tanat was recycling some skater named X, but now he's picked it back up. Some skater named X now stuck in the pack. He was out. They ate that baby. They ate it good.
Num, num, num.
White Shark coming around, entering the penalty box, entering the pack from behind. El Tanat picking up 5 additional points. That's going to put Montreal at 22. And on the far side, it looks like the Montreals are going to pick up 2 more in this jam. That's going to tick them up to 24. Casco Bay still held scoreless. We've got 25 minutes and 43 seconds left to play.
Speaking of Casco Bay, let's go ahead and run through their roster. We've got number 0, Jade. Number 108, Shazama Pajama. 140, Nurse Smashin'. 207, Mini Fridge. Number 26, Ferrous Oxide. Number 305, Grim Demise. Number 40, Per Oxide. A lot of oxides. Number 42, Mick Dubbin. Number 427, Some Skater Named X. Number 48, Peter Rabbit. Number 5, Carl McJustice. Number 503, Tugboat. Number 51, Roba Fett. Number 53, Head Bruiser. Number 666, Dottie Danger. Number 68, Zabe. Number 711, Sandman. Number 74, Rock This. And number 775, Deep Insider. Followed up by number 876, Dark Evader.
While we've been going through that roster, Rock This, number 74 for Casco Bay, jumped out, got Casco Bay's first lead of the game, and put 3 points on the board. These games where the teams have never played each other are always a little bit of a wild card, especially when you have a team like Montreal who has, they've got an 8-3 record for the last 12 months.
And so when you're in an environment where you have so many people that they kind of just play each other all the time, that these tournaments are a really good opportunity to really see what the other teams are made out of. You kind of have to learn what they're doing on the fly.
Number 101, Jumper Cut, jamming for the Montreals. He picks up 5 points to add to their total. And number 74, Rock This, was in the penalty box, so that was 5 power points for Montreal. Jumper Cut's going to get recycled and now running into a 3-wall. 4 from Casco Bay. He's going to get bumped out by Zappy, number 68 for Casco Bay. 5 additional points picked up by Jumper Cut. As boy, that was 876 Dark Evader jumping back. He really, really wanted that track cut.
Absolutely.
And he did not get it.
He looked a little confused about it, waiting for it, and ultimately was not called, but the jam was called right after, so.
Kicking things off for our 5th jam of the game, we have number 26, Fierce Oxide, back on the line for Casco Bay. He is joined by number 7804, Viking Size, he of the fantastic beard. And Fierce Oxide has picked up lead for Casco Bay, but hot on his heels is Viking Size.
There's some serious speed going on here by the pack and by the jammers. It's just like flying by.
Viking Size gaining on Fierce Oxide. Fierce Oxide calls it off just in time, holding Casco Bay scoreless. That's going to be a win for holding Montreal.
Absolutely.
Scoreless. That's going to be a win for Casco Bay. Keeping it tight. We're
giving them no advantage.
You hear Montreal calling for one more skater, and that's going to be number 300, White Shark, heading out to fill out their roster.
And we look at Casco Bay against Montreal, and we see that they have it looks like almost double the players.
We are now on a power jam as Casco Bay's jammer is headed to the Bruce Boutique penalty box. That is number 427, Some Skater Named X, back at it. Montreal's have lead jammer status.
And Casco Bay's jammer is out on a track cut.
Eltonot sneaking through on the inside. That is number 108, Shazama Pajama. I'm going to have so much fun saying that all weekend long. Shazama Pajama trying for the hit, but not quite enough to stop Eltonot. He's got 5 points on that pass, and just like that, he's got another 5.
Jumped right over that apex, cleanly executed, cleanly landed.
Eltonot's going to get bumped out by Dark Evader and recycled back to turn 4.
Looks like Dark Evader has got his number. He is not letting him alone. Doesn't matter where he is on the track. Dark Evader is right on that jam.
Both jammers now getting recycled. Eltonot back on the track and trying to make his way through. Casco Bay in their second sanctioned game from the records that I could get from Flat Track Stats. Pushing through. Skater named X cleared the path, not enough to get some points. That's going to be 15 points, though, for Eltonot. We'd like to thank our sponsor here. All of our stream today is powered by Nesset IT Solutions. They're providing Wi-Fi for us in here, which is fantastic. And they are handling all of our streams. So thank you, Nesset, for putting all this together. I'm so excited that we've been able to get the score overlay up for
Absolutely.
you, so you can see all of that live.
I'm just glad that somebody else is taking care of it because I am not a computer person. I think I found the NEP last week, so beyond that, we would be pretty much just talking to ourselves right now without them.
And the referees are standing in a big huddle right in front of the jam timer, but it looks like we are on an official timeout, a brief official timeout. On the Polar Seltzer Jammer line, we have number 101, Jumper Cut, back at it for the Montreals. That is 3:05, Grim Demise for Casco Bay. Montreal's through, Jumper Cut has lead. Grim Demise still trying to work her way through a cluster. I don't even know if I can call that a braced wall. That was an amoeba up front, a Montreal amoeba. She's going to get recycled. Ooh. As Jumper Cut is through, he's going to get the 5. Grim now out. Jumper Cut's going to play it safe and call it off, take his 5 and run.
And go for it. She was right on his heels.
We've got a crowd gathering here at the Shriners Auditorium here in Wilmington, Mass., just outside of Boston for those who are not local. Shriners Auditorium is the frequent home of Boston Roller Derby of WFTDA fame.
Absolutely. That's actually the only team I've actually seen play here. I came here, I made the trek. Being from Rhode Island, it involved essentially an entire planning process because it was more than 30 minutes away from home.
We've got Viking size jamming for the Montreals, and that is Rock This with the star for Casco Bay. Casco Bay has lead. This is Rock This's second time picking up lead, so he's been quite successful for Casco Bay. He's going to hit it and quit it, call it off. He got 4, but not well timed enough to prevent the Montreals from scoring because they're going to pick up 4 of their own.
Absolutely.
Now, just a quick recap. Casco Bay is the team in white. The Montreals are in blue here today. So that's going to bring our score. Montreal taking a sizable lead here early in the first half, 60 points to 8. Both teams have all of their official reviews and all of their timeouts at this point in the game.
Looks like Montreal's had 2 power jams and have accrued 15 power points during with those jams.
That is going to be Head Bruiser jamming for the first time for Casco Bay. He's out first, but he is not lead jammer. Thanks to a no pass, no penalty call on his way through. That means that Jumper Cut still has the opportunity to pick up lead if he can get out from behind Casco Bay's brace 3, which he does with a spin and a twist.
Ooh. Looks like number 71 is trying to give a little bit of a push right into Casco Bay's jammer.
And Head Bruiser is going to take the back block penalty and take a seat in the Bruise Boutique penalty box, putting Jumper Cut and the Montreals on a power jam. Jumper Cut now trying to find an inside line, wide open. He does after a little bump to number 108, Shazama Pajama of Casco Bay. That's going to be 5 points for Montreal.
So now, because Montreal was not able to get that clean first initial pass, we actually don't have a lead jammer, and this will go the full 2 minutes because the only opportunity to get a lead jammer went to the penalty box.
2-minute jams, that's a lot of skating this early in the day, especially for Montreal, who's fielding only 9 skaters. So you've got a lot of people doing double duty on their roster here today.
Absolutely, and you wonder if they're holding back at all or trying to conserve some of that energy because there's quite a few games in this tournament. So I mean, this is 2 days with only 9 players. Hopefully, some more show up and can kind of help their team out.
Both jammers back on the track as Head Bruiser's going to get recycled. And now Jumper Cut's getting recycled. The defense for both of these teams doing a pretty good job holding these jammers in position.
You're seeing a lot of those 3 walls, those 4 walls. They almost look like they're holding hands and doing like a ring around the rosy.
Ring around the rosy. I want to call that the ring around the rosy block from now on. Casco Bay, though, picking up 5 big points to 4. So only a 1-point differential in this jam. But, you know, sometimes it's the feel-good feeling of, yeah, you know what? We got those 5 points. We needed those 5 points. Yeah, they got 4.
Almost like a morale 5 points.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And in this game, you know, we've seen a lot of ballots. You know, sometimes it's more difficult where we have these not ranked and ranked teams together. You kind of get those big point differentials. But sometimes in roller derby, it's a lot. Just 1 or 2 points at a time can really make or break the game.
Grim Demise now off the Polar Seltzer Jammer line versus El Tanat for Montreal. And Grim is out first. Lead jammer Casco Bay, but boy, hot on her heels is El Tanat. She is going to have to pull a hit it and quit it here to save points. Whoa. Jumping the apex on the inside, but no, she has cut the track. That puts this on a Montreal power jam.
That was some serious air right there.
5 points picked up by Montreal. Grim Demise with that apex jump. They are high risk, high reward opportunities. They are flashy, but there is so much inherent risk to those if you land wrong. 5 more points picked up by El Tanat.
And the execution of that apex jump, you know, it can make or break it.
El Tanat with another 5. He is now at 14. We're going to see if our score is going to update. Montreal content to just let him through and run right into that braced 4 wall of Casco Bay. With a couple of twists and turns, he's going to get all 5. Grim Demise now out and back into the action. She's working her way, stuck at the back of the pack.
Looks like number 207 is out on a back block.
That is Mini Fridge of Casco Bay. El Tanat's going to slither around the outside.
Looked like he was actually kind of just waiting for something else to happen. And like, no, nothing. Okay, I'll go.
That is 5 more points. This is now a 29-point jam for El Tanat. Make that a 34-point jam. He's racking up points faster than we can count them. Grim Demise still stuck behind a very resilient 3 and 4 wall for Montreal.
So that was a 33-point jam for El Tanat. Bringing his points up to 60 points for this game already. So out of the 103 points that we have for Montreal, he scored 60 of those.
Casco Bay is going to go back to rock this with the star for this jam. That is Viking Size now cycling together. They were our first jammers, and now they are back up again as we have crossed the halfway point of this period.
Whoa! We had Viking Size doing a little bit of a backwards march on the outside line.
1 left to beat. That is some skater named X. Oh, 2 left to beat as they are rocking the brace 2 wall, rocking it very wisely, avoiding the multiplayer. And now Viking Size is taking a penalty. I did not see the hand signal on that. That is a blocking with the head penalty. Thank you for that, Tutu.
Absolutely.
So Casco Bay now on a power jam of their own.
That was kind of a tricky one, too, because, you know, with Viking Size, he's got these 2 long braids, and it actually almost looked like his braids got caught in the shoulder of a skater named X. I guess that's the risk you take for daring hair.
Rock this now getting recycled back to turn 2. He's going to take it nice and slow as he runs into the Rev from the Montreals.
And Viking Size is out of the penalty box.
Rock this with a sign of frustration. Forced back again. He's going to go all the way back once more, almost all the way back to turn 1. As Viking Size is working his way through, but Casco Bay owns the front of the pack right now. 1 left to beat, and Viking Size has it. He is not lead, no points assigned on that pass, so that was his initial. I see the jam ref signaling that he does have the jammer lap point on this pass. Rock this being held at the back of the pack by a brace 4 wall from Montreal. Viking Size Just 207 mini fridge left to beat, and he does. That's going to be 5 points on the board in this jam for Montreal. That's going to bring them over the century mark, now sitting at 108 to 17 for Casco Bay. Viking size picking up the jammer lap point again. That is going to do it. Casco Bay, 4 points of their own in this jam. But that is going to be, looks like 5. The challenge that you always have with officials, they're not here for us, the announcers. They are here for the scorekeepers. And sometimes their hands are sideways onto us, and we can't see how many fingers they have up. But that is, Jam Ref Chopsaw has kindly turned 90 degrees for us. So we can see that that was the whole 5 points. Eltonot with the star for Montreal. That is 427, some skater named X for Casco Bay. We've got blockers everywhere in the front of the pack as Eltonot tried to sneak through. He's going to get recycled back to turn 2 as we have 2 skaters headed to the Bruised Boutique penalty box. That is number 50, Buddy Ollie for Montreal, and number 53, Head Bruiser for Casco Bay. Eltonot picks up lead. He is going to call it. No points picked up by either team in that jam. So Montreal jumping out to a not wholly unexpected early lead, given the ranking situations.
Absolutely.
Montreal, they, like I mentioned earlier, have an 8-3 sanctioned record, winning by an average of, about 80 to 100 points each game.
So we were fully expecting there to be a pretty good, sizable point spread in this bout. But you can see that Casco Bay is not just going to let it go. They're not going to not fight for every point that they're getting.
Jeppercut with lead for Montreal. That is Grim Demise out there for Casco Bay. The interesting thing to watch will be how Casco Bay adjusts to the level of play.
Absolutely. Looks like our blockers are out of the Bruce Boutique penalty box.
Jeppercut had picked up 4 on that pass. He got it out of the front. Grim Demise was just about to hit the back, and he calls it off. I'm going to take a moment to run through our officials roster because we want to give lots and lots of love to our officials.
Gotta love the Zebras.
The Zebras and the NSOs. That they are a team. They work together. Our crew head ref today is Davey Darko. Davey Darko is leading Gritty Pearl, Chopsaw, Headless Horseman, Apple Quarry, Joe the Locksmith, Queen Victoria, Feaster Bunny, Invage's Space, Shebra, Down in Jersey, Kinky Linky, Michael Mitten, Mariah Scary, Veronica Scars, Chemical Restraint, Tights McGee, yours truly, Ann Haynes. Thank you so much to all of our skating and non-skating officials.
So it looks like we've got 140 on the line right now for Casco Bay.
And we are now on a team timeout called by...
Looks like Montreal.
Montreal.
So this is Nurse Smash It's first jam out there as the jammer.
I love that we have the plethora of derby names out there. We do have a Nurse Smash It and a Nurse Ratchet. We have a Maul Bunyan and a Paul Funyan skating here today for various and sundry teams.
Well, just even with Casco Bay, you've got peroxide and ferrous oxide, so some chemical reactions going on out
Definitely there. Some chemical reactions. Always remember to use proper personal protective equipment.
Yes, gloves are important. No gloves, no love. Wait. I don't think that. Never mind. I mean, like rubber gloves for medical procedures. Why did you guys give me a microphone?
Viking size back on the Polar Seltzer Jammer line, and that is 140 Nurse Smash It for Casco Bay for the first time here this morning.
This is Viking size 6 jam.
Viking size been very effective for Montreal, and he continues to be so, picking up lead. Nurse Smash It was at a virtual standstill thanks to a 3-wall from Montreal. Viking size seems to have disrupted Casco Bay's front wall, able to sneak through pretty much unhindered. That's going to be 5 points for the Montreals.
And it looks like Nurse Smash It is out on a forearm call.
Oh, That is a forearm and not a blocking with the head. Very similar hand signals. So Montreal on a power jam. This is our 5th power jam of the game so far. So they've got a better record than our previous game between the Hooligans and Collision, with over 22 power jams throughout the course of the game. Viking Size is through. That is going to be another 5 points. That puts him at
15 points for this jam.
15.
A total of 33 for the game.
He takes a little safe apex jump, picking up 5 more. That is going to be 24 Viking Size. But holy smokes, Nurse smash it with an apex jump of his own. The crowd goes wild. And he was safe. He was safe. He stuck the apex jump. The American judges give it a 10. Montreal picks up 4 points. No points for Casco Bay, but man, did they get style points.
Oh, you could see their entire team just like jump up and start cheering. Sometimes, you know, that's just the morale boost that you need. You can see them all. Just the amount of excitement from the team itself.
Casco Bay, reasonably local, hailing from Portland, Maine, which is probably a 2.5, 3-ish hour drive from where we are in Wilmington, Mass, just north of Boston. So Casco Bay probably brought a little fan base with them.
Yeah, you can see that the crowd is starting to kind of grow as we're getting into a more reasonable hour on a Saturday.
Juppercut jamming for Montreal, and that is 876 Dark Evader jamming for the first time for Casco Bay. Dark Evader has lead. Casco Bay bench is loving it. Juppercut now out, so we will see if Dark Evader's going to hit it and quit it. And he picks up his 4. No, he is content to just keep skating. Juppercut, 3 left to beat as he runs right into the backside of Head Bruiser. Dark Evader getting a little bit of a recycle back to turn 3. But Juppercut is being held firm by Casco Bay.
He tried to do like a small apex jump, ended up getting the one wheel on the inside of the track and got caught on that cut. Had it been landed properly, it would have been a really good move there.
5 points for Juppercut and the Montreals as Dark Evader takes a seat in the Bruise Boutique penalty box. Unfortunate, but you know, this is now the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen this happen in this game, where those apex jumps are high risk, high reward, and they've ended up on the risky end of that spectrum.
Looks like Juppercut getting recycled back.
Juppercut still in the mix. He's got Casco Bay, to their credit, with the hustle to get out in front of him. He has been absorbed right back into that pack with Dark Evader back out. He's got 4 points. That's what you get. No one's paying attention to him. He just flies out of the Bruise Boutique penalty box and picks up his 4.
Like it's like he's almost doing like just an open skate and like, oh, there's people else.
Oh,
here.
hey.
Oh, hi, bye.
So Montreal's going to pick up 5 more. That's going to get them 10 in this jam. And Dark Evader comes out on top with 13 of his own in this jam. So that's going to bring us up to 151 to 53 in favor of Montreal.
35. I'm sorry. It's 151 to 35 for
151 to 35. Top scorers for each team. Juppercut sitting on 48 of his own points for Montreal. Dark Evader and some skater named Rock This sitting on 13 points of their own. Grim Demise with the star for Casco Bay, and that is Viking Size once again for Montreal. Viking Size has lead. Grim Demise trying to take a whip off her skater right into the backside of a Montreal skater, now contending with a braced 3-wall as we've got 2 apiece in the box and 1 standing for Casco Bay. Viking Size is through. He's going to take 5 points since he did pass Grim. Grim now preparing for a star pass. Nope, star stash. Looked like she tried to hand it to number 108, Shazama Pajama, who was the pivot. Not in a good position to receive the star, so rather than risk losing it, she star stashed it and made it through. 4 additional points picked up by Viking Size. That's going to take him to a 9, I believe, for that jam. 5. Lining up once again on the Polar Springs Jammer line. That is going to be a timeout.
With number 53 out there for
Timeout by, it looks like the Montreals. They had not fielded a jammer, so there were a whole bunch of skaters sitting around looking, saying, are there jammers?
Me? No?
Me? You? Who's got the star? Looking at the box, saying, no jammer in the box. We're good. Where's our jammer? Smart move. Call the timeout. Buy themselves a little time.
Looks like they're taking advantage of this, not just setting up. They've got Eltonon up there kind of doing a little bit of a pep talk. We have number 53, Head Bruiser, who is on his second jam of this game. He scored 4 points previously.
Graceless Kelly, an official with, I believe she's with Maine, is chatting on Twitter how she loves that she can hear at Aaron Epiphany, I don't know if that's their derby name, pack definition on the stream. So sometimes getting a lot of background noise has its benefits. Our officials at home following along can feel like they're part of the action.
Absolutely.
Hello to Graceless Kelly. So it's a slow start to the morning.
Yeah.
In terms of people are just waking up. We have a very, very, very full day of derby today.
Absolutely.
So we have coming up next on stream will be the Capital District Trauma Authority facing off against the New York Shock Exchange. So that's going to be an interesting one. Shock Exchange is the highest ranked team here at Battle of Bunker Hill Invitational. They are at number 3 in the MRDA. I believe Capital District is at 25 as of the last rankings for the MRDA. Followed by that, you're going to have Casco Bay back at it again versus the Hooligans. So this is now a 2 for both of these teams on their second game. Following that, at 4:30, we're going to have Montreal versus Collision. At 6:30, the banner game of the evening, the backyard rivalry between the Mass Maelstrom and the New York Shock Exchange. And then we'll cap things off tonight at 8:30 p.m. with Battle of the All-Stars of Boston Roller Derby, Stars versus Stripes. So that is 12 straight hours of roller derby. So,
that's insane. Do you think that, so in watching this game and the previous game, it almost seems like, do you feel like they're holding back at all to try to like hold on to that endurance, or are they being more reserved in this?
I think to a certain extent in tournament situations, you have to be a little bit, especially when you're Montreal. You're coming in with only 9 skaters. You've got lots of skaters who are going to be playing 2 jams in a row.
Ooh, there looks to be a body pileup. It looks like almost every blocker on the Casco Bay hits the ground.
Eltonon with the star from Montreal, and that is number 53, Head Bruiser for Casco Bay. Montreal has lead. Head Bruiser now a lap behind. Eltonon actually takes out Head Bruiser. He's going to recycle him back, and more back. Now at turn 1.
Looks like he's trying to time it out, wait it so that way his blocker that was in the penalty box is able to exit.
That was number 50, Buddy Ollie. One still stranded in the Casco Bay box. I believe that is 108 Shazam Pajama.
Calls that off, gets 4 points as he just slid in on that inside line.
As a reminder to our viewers at home, Casco Bay is in the white, Montreal is in the blue. Montreal now sitting on 164 points, 35 for Casco Bay. We are under the 2-minute mark here in the first jam of this game.
Wow.
I know, that went fast.
That went
Did it
really,
not?
really fast.
Derby happens when you're not paying attention.
Absolutely. There's been 6 power jams for Montreal. Casco Bay has not actually managed to get a power jam during this first half, so we'll see how the next one was.
Dark Evader jamming for Casco Bay, and that is Viking size out in lead jammer for Montreal. Viking size forced out. He's going to get recycled by Casco Bay. Now he's all the way back to turn 1. Montreal now on a power jam as Dark Evader takes a seat in the Bruce Boutique penalty box. So Casco Bay now in penalty kill mode. He just had Mini Fridge left to beat, and he is easily able to step around him. That is 5 points for Montreal. Casco Bay setting up a brace 3 at the front with a little extra helper. Right into the back of Shazama Pajama goes Viking Size.
Viking Size calling that jam off. Looks like 5 points.
5 points, and it looks like he did time it well enough to strand Darky Vader in the box. So Montreal is going to get a power start out of it, a very short power start.
Right.
So they've got to jump on that quick to take advantage of it. But Darky Vader standing in the box, he is ready to go.
You can see the Casco blockers already prepared, getting that 3-wall started.
Montreal left El Tenant to fend for himself up there, able to pretty easily work through that Casco Bay wall. But both jammers now back out on the track. Darky Vader's cleared his initial pass.
Takes a little bit of a slide on that straightaway. Manages to get up. Now we've got some jammer on jammer, as they say.
El Tenant is a lap ahead. He picked up 4 points in his last pass. He was just making Darky Vader